to ask you about keto diet for gains, again, for getting muscle. Is it good, bad, and what are recommendations you have for those who want to try a keto diet?
Right. So when we talk about keto, there are plenty of times where I'm eating keto, but it might be for a day or a week, or right when I'm prepping for something. But when it comes to the keto diet, I don't recommend that as a diet go-to. The last thing you want to do is go from eating 400 grams of carbs a day to zero in one fell swoop. It doesn't have to be as drastic, right? And really, that's why keto is so popular, is because it's used for short-term fat loss. It's great for losing a ton of weight in 6 weeks. But once you've cut out all your carbs and now you hit a plateau, where do you go? You've got no more carbs to cut out. What are you going to cut out? Protein, right? You're going to start cutting out your protein now? To do that, a much smarter plan would have been gradually decreasing your carbs as you stop losing body fat, right? Instead of just throwing them all out the window, right? If somebody's eating 400 grams of carbs, take them down to 300 grams. They'll lose body fat. Then in 3 or 4 weeks, when they stop losing body fat eating 300 grams of carbs, take them down to 250, right? That's a gradual, eventually they're going to be eating keto, but they didn't go from 400 grams of carbs to zero. You don't have to do that. That's the thing I don't like about keto, is you need to gradually get there. There's no point in dropping all your carbs. You didn't have to be that drastic. You would have lost the fat just as well by dropping fewer carbs, and then you would make longer fat loss, But most people use keto to get ready for a wedding or a vacation. They want 4 weeks, right? Then they don't care, right? But if you're a bodybuilder who has to maintain your physique, maintaining a physique on zero carbs is not maintainable for most people, and it doesn't have to be that way.
What about I heard some people say you have to be, in order to get benefits of the keto diet, you have to be in a state of ketosis. I guess it's when you don't have carbs in the system for like a certain amount of time, right? I don't know how long it takes.
Yes.
How does that? Have you experienced that, and how long did it take you to get to that level?
It depends on the person and their activity level and obviously their diet, right? So, but basically what you're doing is you are not consuming carbohydrates, so your body no longer can rely on glucose as its main source for fuel. So it relies on something called ketone bodies that get produced when you break down a lot of fat. And it's those ketone bodies that mean that you're basically in this, optimal fat burning state, because that's how you're burning out. That's where the ketones come from. It's from the fat burning. So measure of making sure you're in that sort of high fat burning phase. And that's why you get that bad breath as well. Or actually, it doesn't always have to be bad. It can be kind of a sweet breath. It's like an acetone because that's what the ketone bodies are.
And it stays with you as long as you're in a state of ketosis? You keep that breath?
Typically, yeah. Typically. Your skin may smell like ammonia as well, which is from branched chain amino acid breakdown.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so your muscles will use branch chains when you're very low carb as a fuel source. And when you break down amino acids, you're left with ammonia, and when you're breaking down a lot of amino acids, that ammonia starts coming out in your sweat.
Wow. What about carb cycling? I heard there's like a split basically. Let's say Monday you eat a lot of carbs. Tuesday you cut them down. Wednesday you cut them down. Thursday no carbs. Friday no carbs. Then back up. So like a carb cycling.
Yep.
What can you tell me about that? And have you tried it? And is it beneficial?
Yeah, I've used carb cycling for many years, and that's what I prefer over keto, where you just drop all your carbs. I'd rather cycle them. And again, the other thing with dropping carbs is that your metabolism tends to take a hit when you're on such a low carb diet, and it's related to your leptin levels. And so one of the ways we avoid that is by changing, instead of just going low carb every day for months at a time, is you have at least one high carb day. And it sort of resets your leptin levels, keeps your metabolism firing. And so that's one way to do carb cycling, where you're just going low carb, and then you have a high carb day. Or you could do different styles where you have different days, a high, a low, a medium. There's really an endless way to manipulate your carbs in a carb cycle diet.